Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. First of all, I'm going to apologize in advance in case you hear the blinds rattling. Pretty nice day out, and I've got the window open to let a little bit of fresh air in here, so if you hear the blinds rattling, that's why. Last week we visited the Terra Mystica universe for a session of Gaia Project, so now we're into a very big game today, as we play Xayah, Legends of a Drift System from Far Off Games. In this game, we start off as a low-time, but hopeful, space pilot trying to become the most famous pilot in the galaxy. We can achieve this in any number of ways, whether through exploration, combat, or trade. Normally we play at 20 fame, but in this video, we're going to play at 10 fame, so to keep the video somewhat manageable in terms of length. It's probably still going to be a little bit clunky because I only get this game out a couple times a year, so hopefully it'll be pretty smooth. I've been enjoying my playthroughs of this game. There's so much to get into in this game. So it can get long anyway, even before having to factor stopping and checking the rules. So that's why I'm playing only to 10 fame. With that, as usual, I did most of setup the previous night, so let's work our way over to the board, and we'll start with a quick look at the score, at the fame point track. Here's the fame point track. You can see here how the titles change as you move up. I've got my victory fame points marked off, and when one of us reaches a level of fame, we'll get either a new event card in pink or a title card in yellow. I'll be doing everything in red, as we'll see when we move over to my ship. The NPCs have one victory point marker for among all of them, and they'll be doing everything in yellow. So I'll keep you... We probably won't come back to this too often, but I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on off-shot on the fame point track. So, with that, let's start working our way over to the board, and we'll stop off first with the ship I'm playing today. Here's the ship that I'm playing with. Today we're playing as the Ghost Stalker. So there's the mini for the ship, comes pre-painted. I'll be doing everything in red as I mentioned. There's our cargo hold, we'll set that up in a minute, but first we need to go through a little bit of the intro story. A little bit of the backstory. You saw her on a shady, used ship lot. From the outside, she looked sleek, small, and cramped. From the inside, she smelled like freedom. The salesman seemed nervous, and you think the ship might be hot. With hushed tones and bad breath, he tells you of the many documented and possibly illicit modifications. The old you would have been uncomfortable, but now it really turns your crank. You even haggled for the price. In an instant, you go from Civ Accountant 3471 to Captain of the Ghost Stalker. As you pull starward, you wish your coworkers could see you now, starting a life of adventure. You can see our cargo hold is a little bit... You can see the configuration of the cargo hold. We also start off... I'll bring the laser pointer out of shot. We also start off with 6,000 credits, which we'll use to buy our starting mods. So, I think for 3,000 credits, we're going to start off with a... For 3,000 credits, we're going to start off with a Raptor K engine. So if you remember, we actually will use whatever die is indicated on there for movement. So whatever we roll accounting for modifications, we get that much move. So I'll spend 3,000 credits for that, taking my 5 and getting two singles back. And then where do we want to fit this? I think we can fit this right down there. And then for 3,000 credits, I think we can fit a... let's go... I really don't have much else I can do right now. We do have a special ability that I'll get into in a minute, but... Let's see, I think for... Okay, then those mods just have to be attached somewhere to add to the roll, right? I want to double check that. It's the GTS I'm looking at. Placed in the cargo hold. Each GTS each gravitational thrust stabilizer orthogonally adjacent increases the engine rolls by 2. Okay, so yeah. I will spend 1,000 credits as well to pick up a GTS. So what that means is whenever I roll for the engine, as long as I have it adjacent, so I'll put that back in the supply as well. So whenever I roll for whenever I use the engine, my rolls are +2, but they can't exceed the target of they can't exceed the maximum for the mod. So that's a D12, so the maximum would be 12, which means I can't exceed 12 even with that GTS attached to it. So I'll go ahead and set this up. I'll set the energy on max. Armed markers there. Then where does the ship go? I think it goes to, I think I can start it anywhere I want. On any spawn point of my choice. Okay. So I'll move that over to the board. I'll put that right about... let's put that... Let's put it here. Well, I'll point out where here is when we move over to the board. But before we do that, we need to take a look at our Ghost Stalker's special ability. So our Ghost Stalker's special ability is Crypto Lance. It's an older code, sir, but it checks out. Planetary shield borders never stop your movement. I still have to roll when I cross them. On a 1 to 10, I still take damage, but I don't gain a bounty. And I treat damage from planetary shields as blockable environmental damage. Which means I could use shields to block that if I had any, but I don't right now. I also have an impulse marker of 3, so I can spend that for an additional 3 movement once per turn. But before we get over to the board, we need to make one more stop at our starting economy board. Our primary focus here is on the economy board, so we've got several different resources that we can buy when a space comes up that says buy it. So we can pick up, so we've got plasma right here. We're starting with 5 of that. Then we've got 1 cyber, 3 terra, 5 hollow, and 2 spice on the economy for the start of the game. Then the kiln is a special space station that we have to deal with. These are the spaces there. We can sell Ember there. We've got a mission space, which is what that marker is. It's a hub of trade and commerce. Place on near when it's discovered, except in the solo game it's going to start out discovered. And we've got space where we can sell Ember here for 2,000 credits per cube. Which is actually one of the ways we can earn fame, is if we sell, I think it's sell all of one type of cargo, as long as we have at least 2. Let me just double check that. Sell can be, the player receives 1,000 cubes, 1,000 credits per cube sold. Cargo cubes. Sells all cargo cubes in their hold, receives 1 fame point. Minimum of 2 cargo cubes required to receive the fame point. Okay, that's what I thought. So the economy board's all set. Let's move over to the starting galaxy and see what we've got. Here's our starting galaxy. We've got the kiln right out here by near. We've got ruins of Drellmoth. It's going to be hard to read upside down. We've got an exploration marker here. We've got a mission marker where we can pick up. We can potentially pick up missions. We can only have, I believe it's 3. I believe it's 1 active at once. Let me just double check that. Where on Earth? There's got to be like a type of space or something on here. Maybe actions? No. Oh, draw missions on a mission point. Missions overview, page 13. It's the explanation of the missions, but it's not saying. where the type of space is. Of course it's not on here, but judging by what the card is going to, or judging by the card backs, yeah, that is the mission space. That's what we've got. Up here we've got another one of those down here on TK421 in the middle of an asteroid field, and another one over on Pelmont, which is basically a giant debris field. We've got some minor actions we can take. We've got a few exploration icons. We've got one up here on Ruins of Drelmoth, another one up here on in the asteroid field, one down here by K, and another one over here on Pelmont. But we need to be careful, because if we step in there and we roll too badly, 1 to 3 means we just get instant death when we move into that. Asteroid fields are 1 to 10. We take that much damage, that much physical damage essentially. 11 to 20, we're fine. And then we've got some sifting, some excavation that we can do up here, which is an action that would stop our movement, so we do need to be careful of that. The ideal plan right now is to try to expand out to the side. Maybe if I get to the edges of the table, I can kind of use that to help me guide where I want the galaxy to end up. But like I said, ideally I want to expand out to the sides if I can. But I think we're all set to get into this game, so let's go ahead and drop into my first turn. I'm zooming out just a touch so we can get the dice tower in shot, but I suspect I'm going to want the smaller tower before too long. The plan here is I want to go for this, at least this exploration marker right here. Maybe come up here, do a little bit of sifting. That way I can bring it right back to the kiln to get that unsifted and figure out what's back there. So we're going to start off by arming the engine for our first point. So I've got my D12 in the cup already. We'll go ahead and give that a roll, and we'll get to move that many spaces plus 2 because I've got a GTS attached to it. That looks to me like a 9 plus 2 is 11 spaces. So I will start off with moving 1, 2. So I've got 9 movement left, but I have to roll a D20. Like I said, 1 to 10, I take that much damage. On an 11 to 20, I'm fine. And if I roll a natural 20, I get a fame point for that. Let me just double check. I think that's a once per game thing. Whenever I roll a natural 20? Sure seems like it. Titles. Of course, there's not a rule on fame. Ah, here we go. Maximum once per turn. Okay, so when the dice shows a 20. Okay, so it is a once per turn. Right. Yowza! Well, actually that's a 1, so I only take 1. So I take 1 essentially, I don't know if they call it physical damage or what, but it has to go on your ship, on your cargo hold somewhere. Fortunately, I've got 3 spaces left on my cargo hold where I could have blocked it off. So I do get the exploration marker, so here I will find another 5 impulse. So I've got 5 more move this turn, which I will use to... So I actually have a total of 14 move. Because I basically used the 2 from the GTS. So I've got 5 more move. We'll move 1, 2, 3. I'll stop and pick up a mission. So I get 3 mission cards off the top of the deck. So my first choice for a mission, let's turn it the other way, is transport. Contracted to carry commodities. Target second player on the right. I usually don't use these target other players, especially when I'm playing solo. Next up, Bounty Hunter. Track down and destroy criminals. Find and destroy any outlaw ship. Collect pickup remains by rolling the D20. Payment determined by how intact the fugitive's remains are. Deliver to Lunari. And our last choice is shuttle, picking up passengers at the keep. Payment determined by shortest flyable distance from pickup to delivery. So pick up at the keep, deliver to Vortex 86. I think I'm going to take the shuttle. Just because that's the... So I need to find both the keep and deliver and Vortex 86 to be able to deliver them. So that's a mission that I've got. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 2 left on my impulse, which I'll use to move up here. So this exploration token I will find. Another 5 impulse. So once I go through this impulse, I will also be stopping. I'll also pick up a fame point. Because it's every 2... I believe it's every 2 exploration tokens I cash in for a fame point, right? Where? Campaign upgrades, that's not what I want. Do-do-do. Where? Campaign upgrades, that's not what I want. I thought there was something in here about... Maybe it's in the base rules where you're able to do that. Let me look. 21 exploration tokens. Here we go, exploration tokens. I thought there was something on here about... Wait, ways to gain fame. Discover fame point and exploration tokens. I thought there was... Sorry, I'm just stopping to check something because I thought there was a... Is there a more detailed way to explain how you gain fame? Of course there isn't, because that would make too much sense, and we can't have that now, can we? Components. How to earn fame points. Maybe there isn't a way to... Maybe there isn't a way to cash in tokens for fame. I thought there was in my last playthrough, but apparently there isn't. Cannot be claimed again by another player. Yeah, I thought there was... unless it's an expansion rule, that might... Event deck fame point track. Relic tokens. No, I guess there isn't a way to earn fame points by cashing in exploration tokens. I thought there was, but I guess I was mistaken. Okay. Well, it is what it is. So 1, 2, we found the first impulse, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, so I'm down to 7 move, and I found another impulse of 5. Let's go 3, 4, and I'll match the arrow. So here we'll find Kemplar 2. So arrow goes here. We'll go 5. I'll put on another put on another exploration marker. I don't think Kemplar 2 spawns any of our NPCs. Yes, it does, actually. It'll spawn the Enforcer, so I'll deal with that as well in a minute. First, we'll get a new exploration token out. Oh. All right, oh, nope, I want to bring this out I'm trying to bring it out question mark side up. There we go. So I'm trying to draw it flat side down. All right, so finding another 5 impulse here. Okay, so let me just back this up. So 1, 2, cancel, which used the GTS up. Found a 3 impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Used the first impulse. Found the second. 1, 2, 3. Okay, but we do need to spawn the Explorer. So we'll put the Explorer, the Enforcer. So we'll put the Enforcer, which is that many, on Kemplar 2 right there. So I still have, okay, so 1, 2 using the GTS. Found the first impulse. 1, 2, 3. Found the mission. 4, 5. Found the second impulse. So I'm on 1, 2, 3. So I actually still have 9 movement left. But we need to deal with we need to figure out which card we're using, because we've got 2 behavior cards for the Enforcer. So where's my D6? Okay. Then the lid. So on a D6 roll, we'll go odds, evens. Evens, so we're using this card. Then I'll take a quick look at it. We can see it's got 2 sides on it. So it's got Big Game Hunter or Single-Minded. So we're going to use either odds, evens. Do another D6 roll on that. Odds, so we're using the what's right side up right now. So Big Game Hunter is an Enforcer that wants big kills. Outlaw if tier 2 plus, player if tied. So it's an outlaw ship. Behavior, it's going to move to target. If in range, attack, then repeat steps 1 to 2. So I'll move that over to the Enforcer's card. And then we've got NPC stats. So right now the Enforcer is the only one that's relevant. We're playing on easy mode. So Enforcer moves 6, attacks with a D12 missile, has D8 shields, and we need 12 damage to kill it. So combat, I'll explain how combat works when it actually happens. Coming back to my turn, I've still got my full, actually I've got my full 9 movement. My 2 impulses are gone. Actually, I still have 2 impulse left, so I'll move 1, 2. So that kills my impulse. I'll move 1, 2, pick up this exploration token, and I will find... Come on. An energy, which would let me charge to full, but I don't get that. I could move up here, buy 2 spice for 1,000 credits, but I don't have anywhere I can deliver it yet. You know what? I might as well. Especially since it's going to be free fame. The only thing I don't like about that is it'll stop my movement completely. So I will spend 1,000 credits to grab the 2 spice from the economy board. Then I'll arm my engine marker because I want to try to find somewhere I can deliver this spice to. Oop. Let's get it in the tower, Phoenix. There we go. 3 plus 2 is 5. That's at least enough to let me leave Kemplar 2. So I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe do a little bit of sifting. And then I'll arm the engines one more time. But I would rather try to do some exploration so I can see if I can find somewhere to dump this spice off. 9 plus 2 is another 11. So I will start off with 1, 2. I'll blind jump and I'm matching arrow. So I've got 7 move. Actually, I'm matching the line. So I've got 7 move left right now, and we find We find Loath, which means I've got to deal with a planetary shield. Because I'm passing through that. I roll on a d20, 1 to 10, I take a bounty, but we also are spawning the... Ooh, that's convenient. There's a space I can sell cargo. So on a 1 to 10, do I take a bounty? That's a 7, so I do take a... So I actually take 7 damage. That's a problem. Right, I take damage, but okay, so I do take 7 damage. Which means I'm going to be blocking off most of my mods here. 3. Oh, this is a problem. 6. And 7 will actually jettison one of my cargo cubes. Wait. I should have... Hold on. I took 1 earlier. Oh, I only have 9 in the hold. Never mind. So actually I have to jettison one of my spice, which is very unfortunate. But I don't take a bounty. Let's see. The Loath Labs also spawn the Scoundrel. Which the Scoundrel's right here. I'll put him here. Okay, I can get that D20 out of shot. We'll also need an exploration marker. Which I will probably be going to pick up right away. But we also need to roll for the Scoundrel's behavior. Tip the camera down so we can see Loath. Once again, we've got 2 cards here. Where did my D6 go? Here you are. All right. Odds, evens. Odds, so we're using this card. And then similar here, the Scoundrel, Usual Suspect, or Hateful. Target a player if innocent. Oh boy. Well, let's figure out what we're using first. So odds, evens. Odds, so we're on top. Usual Suspect. Almost the usual Scoundrel. Target player if innocent. Behavior 1, move to target. 2A, if in range, attack, then move to Loath. If not, move to target again. That's a problem. So as we bring I'll bring the NPC stats back over. The Scoundrel will move 6, attack with a D12 blaster, and shield with D6, and we need 10 damage to kill it. The blasters, I'm going to double check the range. I believe the blasters you have to be adjacent, right? Let's see. Combat. I thought there was a section in here on combat. Okay, I'm going to use a blaster outfit. A range of 1 and requires line of sight. So I should have my... I've got my laser pointers right here. Good. So I'll need that. Okay. All right, so I've got all that straight. Okay, I've got 7 movement left. I had to jettison one of my cargo cubes there. So I'll move 1, 2, 3, pick this up. And here I'll find a fame point, just a fame point. That works for me, so I'm up to 1, which means we'll be getting a free title, which means we'll be getting a new title during the end of turn, during the fame step. Then I will... Do I want to move there and sell? I probably should, because I'm likely just getting blasted out of the sky anyway, so might as well move here and I'll sell my 1 spice for 1,000 credits. That does stop my movement, but like I said, I'm probably just getting blasted out of space here anyway. So that actually does stop my movement, and my engine markers are all toast. So now I'll move into the business phase. So I'll spend 1,000 credits I just got from selling the spice to repair all of my physical damage. So I'll take all of that off of my ship. That's very cool. I get to recharge all of my energy for free. Just double checking here. I could use impulse to try to get away from this hunter, or from the scoundrel, but that's probably not worth it in the grand scheme of things here. Okay, so we're in the business phase now. I just repaired all of my damage, all my normal damage. I can't really sell my outfits. Okay, so that's Okay, so now we're into the status phase, which means everything else gets repaired. So I'll draw my new event for advancing to 1 fame point. So our first event up. Cinderbeard, the half-cyborg pirate lord. While this card is in play, randomly select a Tier 3 ship not owned by any player to become the outlaw NPC Cinderbeard. It can't be purchased by players. Roll a d20 to determine spawn point as usual. The Cinderbeard has the same NPC pattern as the Scoundrel, except attack with 2d12. 2d12, has no shield, takes 15 damage to destroy, moves 12 spaces, flees 10 spaces, and plus 3 fame points when destroyed by a player. Yikes! And it only leaves play when Cinderbeard is destroyed. Delightful. So I've got to find the Tier 3 ships. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what I'm going to do for that is I've got the stack here. I'm going to roll a d8. 1 through 7 is going to be how many I go through in the stack. 8 is going to be a re-roll. But before I roll that, I need to take a small break. Okay, so now we're rolling for the ship we're spawning. Spawning ship 6 as Cinderbeard, so 7, 6. So we're spawning the Constant Sorrow as Cinderbeard. Delightful. I need the ship minis. I'm going to need a stand in a second. Actually, I've got one right here. Let's see. So the Constant Sorrow is... This one, no. Maybe. I know I'm looking for a green ship. This seems more likely to be it if I can get at it. Yeah, that one's it. Alright, so there's Constant Sorrow. Great! They just picked up a powerful ally. So now I've got to roll the d20 to see where it spawns. And we pick the point closest to it. 17. We have 15 out here on Pelmont. Okay, so that ship can't be purchased, and it doesn't leave play until it gets destroyed. Plus it serves as another scoundrel. That is gross, especially when the scoundrel's after us. Great! This should make for a delightfully short game, so now we need to do System Expanse before we start into any of the NPC turns. And that's adjacent to the most sectors, so we've got a few places we can go. We can go 3, 3, or 3. I think we're going to expand down here, and I'm going to match the I'm going to match, what is that? The horizontal line, essentially. So the sector we're going to find here is just a lost sector. So we'll put that like so. Okay, so that's all set up, which means now we need to get into NPC turns. So we're going to go Scoundrel first, then Enforcer, then Cinderbeard. So this is not good at all, because the Scoundrel is right here on Loath. Actually, hold on. Actually, I think we spawned the Enforcer. Yeah, we spawned the Enforcer first. Let's go in order that we spawned NPCs. So Enforcer first, then Scoundrel. It's targeting an Outlaw, which... Cinderbeard's actually an Outlaw, so this kind of works for us, where the Enforcer is going to be after Cinderbeard. So the Enforcer moves... How many spaces did we say? Moves 6 spaces. Missiles need to be... I believe missiles are... Where did I put the rules? Here we are. Missiles are a range of 2 to 6 and need line of sight. So the Enforcer right now is actually going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe the debris fields block line of sight. Yes, those block line of sight. So repeat steps 1 to 2. So it's going to move 1, 2, so it can get line of sight. I believe that's how that works. Be drawn from the center to the center without crossing an impenetrable border. So if we draw there, we see that it's slightly hard to see, but I think actually we can move it. Yeah, we'll rule that we can move it there. So the the Enforcer attacks with a D12 missile, and the Cinderbeard doesn't have any shield, so we'll grab a D12 for how much damage it takes. We'll tip the camera up slightly so we can roughly see what's going on. So the Enforcer's actually up here attacking Cinderbeard. So we'll see how much damage he can deal. He deals 10 damage right off the jump. Wow. Wait, Outlaw. Yep, tier 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 damage going on Cinderbeard, which is actually very fortunate for us. What is not fortunate for us is when we tip the camera back down and we see the Scoundrel is coming after us. So, since it's already in range, it just is going to attack. We're just getting domed by this attack. So the Scoundrel attacks with a D12 blaster. So yikes. Anything above a 9, actually anything 9 or above, we just get blasted out of the sky. That's a 5, so it's survivable but not great. Let's see, that's 5, so I'll go 1, 2, 3. I've got to block the GTS because I've got to block the GTS and then 5. So now I'm also minus 1 for 1 damage that I put on the engine mod. That's rather unfortunate, but no help for it at this point. Okay, so that's the Scoundrel done, which means we've got to go to Constant Sorrow next. So it's it moves 12 spaces. So it's coming after me. So it's basically another Scoundrel. It's coming after me. So it's going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then it's going to move again. Since it actually... Yeah, it can't attack because planetary shields block line of sight, right? Yes. But it can pass right through everything. So... Right, yep. Attack, then move to Loath. If not, attack again. So it will move 1, 2, 3. Does it attack with missiles or blasters? I think it attacks with 2d12 what, though? Yeah, I'm assuming it's another scoundrel. I'm assuming it's going to attack with blasters, so it probably wants to get adjacent. So it probably wants to get adjacent to me, which is going to be a big problem. But that's all of the NPCs done, so now they roll for their fame points. So we're removing any cubes, which means we're adding... So we're removing the spice cube from the board because I had to jettison it earlier. So we're rolling a d20, adding 2 for each cube, so this roll is plus... It's actually plus 4, because they're currently behind by 1 fame, and we removed a cube from the board. So we're rolling on... So we're rolling on this chart for how much fame the NPCs earn. So remember, we're plus 4, which means they're earning at least 1 fame point, even if their roll is crap. Unfortunately, a natural 20 is decidedly not crap. So they're earning 3 fame points. So they're up to 3 already. And then we get a title out we can claim. So this title is Tank. Shields. How cute. To claim this title, be the first player to have 3 or more armor-plating outfits with at least 3 normal damage in each and survive. Once claimed, this title grants your armor-plating outfits can now hold 2 normal damage or 1 ice damage. It did not want to focus. Alright, let's read this again now that we can actually have it focused. Shields. How cute. To claim this title, be the first player to have 3 or more armor-plating outfits with at least 3 normal damage in each and survive. And once claimed, this title grants your armor-plating outfits can now hold 2 normal damage or 1 ice per space. Right. The only way I have a feeling the only way we're doing anything in this game is by a miracle. So... Right, so that's back into round 2, and I need to try to get away from these guys if I can. I did forget to spend the 3 energy to rearm my engine markers. So I'm going to rearm my arm markers. So I'm going to put one of my markers on the engine. This roll is actually -1 because I had to put a damage on the... I had to put the damage on the engine. That's a 6, so I'll move 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll match the arrow here. So the next sector we're finding is Tafter, which is a dead world. So if I'm matching arrow, it goes here. We get an exploration marker out. All right, we'll put that there. I thought that got... Okay, that does get 4. Tafter gets 3. So 1, 2, 3 go there. Looking at my cargo hold, I think I have to try doing something here. I'll move the camera just a little bit. So I still have... So I was here, 1, 2, 3, 4. I still have 2 left. So I'll go 5, 6. Then I am going to try to excavate. I'm taking a risk here because if I get ice damage, if I get any ice damage here, I just get blown up, which might not be the worst thing right now because my ship is in pretty bad shape. Yeah, 8 ice damage, I just get flattened. Fortunately, everything repairs, and basically I'm going to be a respawn NPC in a second. That goes there. So the rest of my turn is essentially skipped because I got blown up. Then the NPCs don't have anything to do right now, so they're going straight to their roll. Actually, before we do that, we do system expanse, so I will be expanding here, and I'll match the curve. So here we'll find Burning Horse, which is a nebula. We can harvest energy here. Let's see, that matches, that lines up there. We do need an exploration token there. This could end up being a very short playthrough, the way things are going. Okay. So that goes there. And then I believe I spawn after the next... I believe I respawn after the next turn. Let me just look at that. After death at the start of their next non-skipped turn. Okay, so the NPCs don't do anything on their turn, so they're going straight for their victory point roll. An 18 should give them... Yep, an 18 gives them another 2 fame points. So they're flying along. I need to make up some ground, but the problem is having that NPC... Actually, I take that back. The Enforcer actually goes after... is actually going after the... is actually going after Cinderbeard. So... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't attack, so it moves again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, but still, they get another 2 fame points. So there's another event coming out, we find. Come on. Signs of Life. We heard garbled radio pleas for help. While this card is in play, while Signs of Life aren't found, players that end their action phase on a Dead World mission point may roll a d20. 1 to 15, nothing happens. 16 to 20, player earns 2 fame points and finds Signs of Life. Signs of Life. Business phases may now be conducted on this mission point. Mark this by placing an event token here. This card leaves play when it doesn't leave play. So if I end an action phase, so if I end my action phase there, then I can roll for that. So... right, I think we are back into turn 3 now, and I need to have a miracle happen. First, I need to respawn, so I'm going to roll a d20 and find the closest spawn point. A 20... so the closest one there is actually way up here in Pelmont. Okay, so I'm way up in the upper reaches of the galaxy. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. Oop. Other in. Okay, we can at least see that a little bit better. I'll bring the dice tower into shot. I'll arm the engine because I'm going to do some exploration. I want to see if I can get at least this explore marker. That's a 9 plus 2 is 11. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3. So I have 8 move left. But I have to roll a d20. On a 1 to 3, I get blown up. Otherwise, I'm fine. That's an 8, so I survive, but it's not great. Which means I pick up this exploration marker, so here I'll pick up. Come on. There we are. Pick up a cyber. So that's a purple cube, and I don't think I have anywhere I can drop cyber off yet. With 8 move left, let's actually make a blind jump up here and I'll match the circle. So I'll have 7 move left after this. Here I will find Lower Stratus, which is a nebula. I can harvest for plasma in here. It's another spawn point as well. So I'll put that up there. I'll get an exploration token out for that, but I also lose energy. Well, I'm also going to be rolling a d20, see if I lose energy. Right, there's our exploration token. So I'll be grabbing that exploration token for sure, but first I need to determine how much energy I lose. 1 to 10, I lose that much energy. 11 to 20, I'm fine. That's a natural 20, so I actually gain a fame for that. More importantly, though, I'm fine on my energy. So I'll move up. So I'll move up 1 to collect this exploration token. And here I'll find 1,000 credits. That's actually really handy. Let's see, then I've got 7 move left. So I'll go 6, 5, 4 and match square. So I have 4 move left after this. And our next sector that we find matching square is Delta's Gate, which is another spawn point. First player to use the gate earns a fame point. So square goes there, but we can't use it because there's no connection. Let's go 3, 2, and we'll match circle. So circle out here. This is a bust, is a Samara gate. And our problem gets even worse, is going to get even worse in a second, because we have to deal with potentially taking ice damage. So similar to the asteroid fields down here, I'm actually going to move so you can see where we're at. That would be moderately helpful, Phoenix. So similar to where we had to deal with ice damage, where we had to deal with physical damage earlier, now we have to deal with ice damage, and we'll roll for it in the exact same way. So I'll bring the dice tower into shot. Let me tip that down just slightly. Another natural 20, so we are fine, but we don't get another fame point for that, but we do gain. We don't take any ice damage, is what I was trying to say. So 1, 0, 0. I'm going to set up to use the gate this turn. Gate right here. I'll arm the engine again. Oop. Let's get the dice tower back into shot while we've got plenty of room here for it. Because we're going to be doing system expanse, and now, like I said, this is where I may end up wanting the small tower before too much longer. Alright, that's a 5 plus 2 is 7. So I'll start off with 6 to get down to Delta's Gate, and that'll give me a fame point. I'm not going to be drawing a new title because the 3 fame points was already reached. Mostly I want to continue exploring. So I'm going to go 5, 4, 3, match the curve. So I have 3 move left. And our next tile is Expediter Gate. So now we've got the 3 gates out, all within 1 space of each other, so that's kind of a bummer. But it's another spawn point, at least. And we'll go 2, 1 matching line. So line out here gives us Zaya, and my turn is over once again. So I just got blown up yet again. Delightful. So I'll take myself off the board. That effectively skips my turn. So moving down to the NPCs who are in the middle of their foreplay. We're starting off with the Enforcer, who is attacking who's attacking Cinderbeard again. They gain... I think if they're treated as a player, they'd gain the 3 fame for destroying Cinderbeard as well. The Enforcer Scoundrel destroys the player's ship. I don't think... Do they act as a player? I think they do act as a player. We forgot to do System Expanse, actually. So before we jump into worrying about that, I'll reposition just a little bit because we're expanding right here, and I'll match the line. So here we'll find... Neo Vostok, which is another ice asteroid. We'll put a comet down on the rule space. And get an exploration token out. Okay, so that goes in the middle of that ice asteroid field. And the comet, I kind of glossed over it when it came out, but when we enter the path of the comet, we're going to be rolling a d6 for it. And we'll move that many spaces along the path. So if it lands on us, we get exterminated. With that, we also jettison the cargo into Zaya, which is unfortunate, but coming back to the... But clearly I've got bigger problems on my hands right now. So coming back down to the mess down here, the Enforcer is targeting... I don't know how that works. I think... they're essentially acting as... It seems like they're essentially acting as a second player. That would be my first thought. So if the Enforcer blows up Cinderbeard, I think they'd get the 3 fame points for this, which is going to make... Which looks like it's about to make for a very short game. So the Enforcer's attacking with a D12 missile, which it's currently in range to attack with. Cinderbeard has, what did we say, 15 damage. He's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, so he only needs 5 damage. That looks like 7 damage, so Cinderbeard is destroyed. Which means, since I'm ruling that the NPCs are acting as another player, they gain 3 fame points for that as well. So this game is probably not lasting too much longer. Alright, so that was the Enforcer's turn. The Scoundrel doesn't have a target right now, so it stays put. And then we're rolling for the NPCs to get victory points. So that Cyber comes off the board, which makes their roll a +2. And they are definitely not behind here. So the roll is +2. If they roll at least a 13, the +2 will bring them up to 15, and the game will be over. So basically, I want to see a modified roll less than a 15. That will not do it. So that's a 21, which will give them a total of 3 fame points, and the NPCs have won this game. So let's move back up top to wrap this video up. So it turns out that there was actually a rule on the exploration token. So once you have 2, you do cash them in for either a fame point or 2,000 credits. It wouldn't have really mattered anyway. I would have cashed these in for probably just 2 more, probably 2 more fame. So let's pretend I did that, went up to 5 fame. But still, was not enough at all. I still had just way too much ground I would have been trying to make up in that game. So I am also chasing down a ruling on this Cinderbeard event. So I wanted to get a clarification on if the NPCs get the 3 fame points or not when they destroy Cinderbeard. For purposes of the video, I'm ruling yes, but once I get a clear ruling, I'm going to pin a comment down to the description. I'm going to pin a comment in this video detailing what happens with that. So, anyway, that will do it for this playthrough of Xia Legends of a Drift System. Space Month is nearing its end, so once again, if you have any AMA questions you want to ask, put them in the comments of any one of the videos for this month. Wednesday, we're actually coming back to our existing galaxy this week. Wednesday, we're heading back to Mars to try to terraform it with the help of the Ares expedition. And next week, we'll stay in our current universe as we debut another new game to close Space Month, Space Corp 2025 to 2300 from GMT Games. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.